I think if I was like old and had money and just like wanted an expensive hobby, I would totally get into disc collecting because it's not really that expensive yet. But at this point, if I am able to get my hands on something rare, I throw it because I think it's just funny.
Yeah.
I'm a pretty natural talker. I didn't used to be. After I went to college and had to do a lot of like presentations and things like that, I got better at speaking in general. Now doing this for years, I've gotten a lot better. And I got a job just to make some money in a warehouse, and I was supposed to start on a Monday. And that Friday or that weekend, I got a call from Hunter saying they needed somebody to fill in for Zach, who is leaving.
So at the Creators Cup, I got to have a round with Trevor Staub. He is the host of the Trevor Staub Show, co-host of Grip Lock, and the other half of the Bogey Bros. And during that round, we got to talk about just the Trevor Staub Show in general, how he got started, the different things he had to learn, the struggles that go with that. We got to talk a little bit about disc collecting and just like how he views disc collecting in general, as well as talking about how his degree actually fits in really well with what he's doing at Foundation, which I just thought was really fascinating. So let's get into it. Oh, and we talk about just our favorite sport. We kind of share that favorite sport, and it's not disc golf. So since we already warmed up, then we don't need two on the first, but
yeah.
Yeah. We've thrown plenty.
Just send it off the first.
Yeah.
I've been throwing the forehand on this hole, and I can't do it.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna throw the backhand now.
I can't throw forehand.
I tried it like 5 times, and I'm over it.
You're still good, as long as it's not in the bush.
Yeah, I didn't turn it over enough, but I'm okay with that.
It's tricky because it's like a slight breeze out there.
Yeah, that's better turn there.
Oh, get out.
I think there's a little bit of tail out there, right to left. Not really letting the disc go over.
Oh, it was a little needed to go further right. I was like, oh, that's good, and then I was like, wait, the basket's further right.
Yeah, it's so much further than you think it is.
So this is coming out like hopefully in the winter.
Yeah.
But we're filming this like you just how recently did you start the Trevor Staub Show? Is that?
It feels like I just started, but I think I'm on episode 22 now. So it's been 22 weeks.
Really?
Yeah, so I guess that's like 5 months and some change.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's been a while now.
So yeah, I feel like it was like, just like you, I feel like it just started.
Yeah.
Maybe because it's like relative to everything else y'all do, it is still pretty new.
Yeah, well, and when you're like, with my schedule, like trying to get guests like every week, it never really stops. So I guess it just goes by really quick because you're like there's never really a break.
Yeah.
It's really hard to get people like lined up and scheduled because everybody's super busy.
Especially like doing everything else y'all do.
Yeah, it can be tricky, but it's worked out so far.
Yeah. Where did you're little in the bush.
Yeah, right.
Is mine further? Where did mine go?
No, you should be short. Yeah, you're right back there.
Oh, okay, yeah.
I have yet to get like inside the circle on this hole. I think it's you.
All right. Oh.
Good run.
Oh man,
not quite. I'm missing a putter because one of mine was chucked into the water. That'll be in a video at some point. So I'm down to 1 putter at the moment. It's a little.
What staff bag tag do you have right now? Oh, if you don't mind me asking.
Yeah.
Because I saw Hunter was 2.
I've got the 1 tag right now.
Oh baby.
Yeah.
Oh baby.
Big time. We came out here Monday night and I shot. I think I shot 8 or 9 under.
Yeah.
I played pretty well. Hunter did not have his best.
Well, still throwing all the gyro stuff.
Yeah, I've had pretty good luck in the tag matches actually so far. We started doing the company tag matches.
Yeah. Now
that we have like a few more employees, it like makes sense. And usually like Hunter will get the best of me. Most people know. Like I would say probably at this point, 65% of the time Hunter gets the best of me.
Yeah.
But I've had pretty good luck in the tag matches. I've actually gotten the 1 tag 3 times already.
Nice.
Twice though, we tied and we had to do a putt off. So it's been very close.
Oh, I would never have the 1 tag if I had to do a putt off every time.
Is this I think we got the wrong basket. Although it doesn't technically matter.
It doesn't matter.
Yeah, we can go to this
here.
one. Yeah, if y'all want to play a different one.
Yeah, sure. Well, we played this one last time.
Oh.
But the whole time I was just picking the tee pad.
As long as you're moving in a circle, it doesn't matter. Yeah. This one's tough.
Yeah, we mentioned it's like the locals are gonna be watching this and being like, dude, how are you butchering our course playing it?
Hey, as long as you make it around the circle, you're good to go. I don't remember. Oh, I threw a stalker on this last time. I just didn't get it to flip over all the way. There was a tailwind. This is a tricky shot. Oh, it's just too low.
Get over.
That's not bad.
Yeah. Yeah, this one is tough.
It's like tough shot.
You can turn over and you get hit. You got to deal with those trees.
Yeah.
Or if you have an amazing forehand.
Yeah, honestly, yeah, it's one of those holes where you kind of just need a super good forehand.
Yeah.
And I don't have one.
Except for last time I put it within 15 feet and then I chained out straight.
I feel that.
I hit dead center, came back at me. I was like, are you kidding me? And that's when I learned about the foundation curse that Hunter said.
That's true. We do curse
it's
everybody.
It's like it's just because you're on camera with foundation.
Yeah. The tailwind is so strong in this hole, I'm telling you.
I don't think the tailwind was here when we threw it last
When
one.
my that stalker doesn't turn over, you know the wind is strong.
Yeah.
So that thing is really
flippy. That was my beat up T-bird, so that usually flips. How has like the Trevor Staub show been like? Because with like having to schedule and do all of that, because you guys don't really, all your other shows, you don't really have the like interview.
Yeah.
People.
Yeah. It is, it's definitely a lot different. It's really stressful. We used to have the Nick and Matt show under our network. That was kind of like, we always knew that Grip Locked was going to be no guests because we never wanted to rely on guests to get views for the show. We wanted to build our audience with what we had. But having an interview show is a useful thing because you like having a presence of that on your channel.
Yeah.
And when the Nick and Matt show, they decided to leave the network last year. And so Hunter, I think I kind of suggested I would do it, but Hunter asked me to as well, I think. And I knew we needed it and I thought it would be a challenge, and it has been. But it's been really fun. Getting pros is definitely difficult just because first you have to make contact with them. Like that's the hardest part, is just getting like I have some pros numbers. Having Brody around is very helpful.
Oh yeah.
Because he can reach out to people, but a lot of times it's just me DMing them. And then it's just a matter of like, I don't even get ignored a lot. It's just like, will they see my DM?
Yeah, they're just so busy.
Right, so then at that point, then you gotta work with their tour schedule. So it never gets easier. I think you flare skipped pretty good.
Oh yeah, there I am, I got it.
Oh wow, just in.
Right by the trash, just like my game. So if you're really enjoying watching this video right now and want to support the channel, a great way to do that is shopping at apollodiscgolf.com. And this month is going to be one of the biggest months we've ever had in terms of releases, starting with the 6 claw discs that released a week and a half. I don't know. We still have a few at the site if you're wanting to get some of those. But this Wednesday as well, we have the new Discmania Paradigm releasing. And then we have some of these DD discs. We got a Royal Grand Raptor I Rive. Those release on Thursday, along with the Ledgestone discs that should be coming this week, releasing next Monday. So if you're interested in any of these discs and want to support the channel, just check it out. You can also sign up for our email list, and I'll be sending out updates on what is releasing when this month. And I mean, we're just gonna keep growing the collection and having more and more releases throughout the season. So yeah, let's get back to the video.
But yeah, once I'm able to get like people scheduled, and like, I haven't missed a week yet, so it's been working out.
Yeah.
Like pretty much everybody's been really good to work with. I've been able to meet some really cool people and like a lot of just like unsuspectingly really awesome disc golfers. And it's also been cool for me too, because like, I mean, I get to interview people like Avery Jenkins, who like were like people that I watched when I first got into the sport like 10 years ago.
Yeah.
So it's like a chance for me to just like get to talk to my old disc golf heroes sometimes. So that's really fun.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's definitely been like the most challenging thing I've had to do at Foundation, but it's worked out so far, and it's definitely been it's been a really cool experience.
Yeah. That's cool. So did you like, so getting into like disc golf is your job with Foundation?
Airplane throwing the mix there.
We can throw and then I'll ask the question again.
Holy cow. That's a big plane.
Oh my gosh.
That's going to the Air Force Base.
Yeah, I was gonna say, that looks like military.
That's crazy. All right, I've been trying to throw this line for so long. First of all, check out this rock that Hunter got me. pretty sick.
That is
970
sick.
out of 2,000. Yeah, pretty nice. It flips up a little bit, but
yeah.
I've been trying to throw this line constantly, and it's not really working. So let's see if I can get it. Closer. Still too far inside, though.
We'll have to show the camera that disc. And
pretty sick.
See how many people are upset that you're throwing it.
That's always my goal. It's always my goal. Get down.
Oh.
That's all right.
That might be good. Yeah, that'll be good. That'll putt.
I've always like, I don't have any kind of disc collection. Like obviously I have a lot of discs.
Yeah.
But I don't, if I had like, I think if I was like old and had money and just like wanted an expensive hobby, I would totally get into disc collecting because it's not really that expensive yet. But at this point, if I am able to get my hands on something rare, I throw it because I think it's just funny.
Yeah.
I genuinely don't know if there's a disc out there. I think it would have to be worth probably 300 or more for me to not throw it. Otherwise, it's going in my bag and I'm gonna just throw it in the trees. I think that's way funnier. It's good for the content.
Yeah, there's like, I can't even imagine how many people are just like, no, why are you throwing it?
I love it.
It's like,
I love torturing
There's so many
collectors.
people that like ask like, why are you throwing that? It's like I have like a first run Buzz.
Oh yeah.
Like ESP Buzz.
Discs are made
and
to
it's
throw.
like, because it's a great disc.
Yeah.
Like, I felt it and I was like, this feels amazing.
It's like, sorry.
Like,
there's no room on my shelves for these things.
Yeah.
They're going in my bag. I don't think my wife would want me hanging discs on my wall anyways. That's not gonna fade.
Like I have a collection of stuff, but like, it's most of the stuff like I wouldn't throw it anyways, you know?
Yeah, that's
like,
the other thing. If I got a disc that was collectible, but like it's not even a great disc anymore, then,
yeah.
then there's no reason.
Like
to
I have
throw
like a back-to-back world title McPro AVR.
Right,
and it's
like, what are you gonna do with
I've
that?
never thrown it because like
Yeah.
I was never an AVR fan anyways, so
Yeah.
it's like, but I like it because
Yeah.
it's a cool disc. So that one I collected. But yeah, it's like as soon as that first run Buzz came in and I felt it, I was like, this is going straight in my bag. This feels amazing. Like, oh, I also buy them stock though too. So it's like, it's not like I don't pay collectors pricing and then throw
retail.
it. Like,
I'm definitely like my collector taste as far as like stuff I want to throw is all old stuff. Like I'm not the type of guy who's like, oh, like a Chris Dickerson USDGC Buzz just dropped or whatever. Like let me grab it at retail. It's fun like getting in like the drop hype for sure. And I've definitely got caught up in some of them. Like the Brody 1000 zones were like fun to like try and get. But I'm more so like, if I'm looking at discs, my favorite place to look for discs is the used section.
Oh yeah.
Because I want to see like Discraft with the old stamp and the old plastic. I want to see old Innova, you know, like I want to see an Avery Jenkins Destroyer or a Paul Destroyer even now.
Yeah.
Like that's the kind of stuff I'm looking for. Like the oldest possible rocks. Those are my favorites to look for.
Yeah.
Talking like yellow USDGC.
Yeah. Oh, show the camera that rock.
Oh yeah. Yeah, this one is pretty special because this is a Will Schustrick 2010 rock, just a champion rock. They didn't make rock 3s back then. And they've made these every year. And back in the day, before they made champion rocks, all of the old Innova guys, they would have their normal KC rocks or whatever, and then they'd have one of a USDGC rock of some year because it was the only like overstable rock you could get.
Yeah.
And I always wanted one, and I've talked about it for years. And then Hunter got me this one, so it's pretty cool.
Like,
it's not that stable though.
Yeah. Well, even though Will is now like been Prodigy for so long, I feel like that, other than the gray, like one of those gray DX rocks, I feel like that's like the most Will Schustrick disc you can have.
Yeah, it doesn't get much better than that.
It's like, I feel like when you think of Will Schustrick, you think of like his USDGC titles.
That's what he did.
That's what he did, and he did it with Innova.
Right.
So,
I think of that video where he's like throwing discs into stuff and it's
the
just
destruction.
Like,
yeah. Oh yeah. I watched like all the old Schustrick videos. He was my guy growing up. Not sure if that's quite left enough.
It might be. You'll still have a putt, I think.
Yeah.
But
Need a little more height on that. That looks nice. Yeah, go in. Oh, get down maybe?
Oh, it might be too far left.
Oh,
Maybe
it might have crushed it.
Might have hit in the bush. I think there might be a wind pushing it further.
Sailed a
little. So going back to the Trevor Staub show, like how has the adjustment been like interviewing people? Because like that's definitely a skill.
Yeah.
You know, and I don't know if did you have to like study how to interview people at all, or is like you just jump into it and be like,
yeah,
let's see how it goes? Or
I studied it. I read quite a bit online. I even had a few books where I was trying to just get comfortable, really. I mean, the biggest thing for me, I'm a pretty natural talker. I didn't used to be. After I went to college and had to do a lot of like presentations and things like that, I got better at speaking in general. Now doing this for years, I've gotten a lot better. Because for me, it was mostly shaking off the nerves. And I mean, picture this, like you schedule some disc golfer who like is pretty much famous to me, and you've never talked to them before, and now they're just gonna pop up on a video call and you gotta go.
Yeah.
And like you gotta, and it's a lot of pressure. And like even now I've been doing it for a while, I still get a little nervous.
Yeah.
So I had to learn a little bit. A lot of it's feedback and like just like bracing yourself for the feedback and then like using it. Cause for me, I would get a lot of comments like, hey, you're repeating this phrase a lot. You go to this a lot. You do this too much. And I've kind of gotten it down to a science now where I know my mistakes enough to get them out. I script all my interviews. So I research for hours and hours, writing out a really good script. And I also write in the script like, okay, here's a question. If they answer this, this is the next question. If they answer this way, this is the next question. So there's a lot that goes into it so that when I step into an interview, I'm never gonna scramble.
Yeah.
And I still try and improvise. You know, if a question just pops up, I'm not gonna ignore it.
Yeah.
And a lot of times what happens is you get somebody who likes to talk a lot. I had Jonathan Gomez on from Jomez, and he was really an interviewer's dream because he talks so much. But what happens is, as he continues on, he's gonna answer questions I haven't even asked yet. So you have to like move down the script. Scratch that out. So it's been a lot of adjusting, but I think I've gotten pretty decent at it.
Yeah.
Definitely not perfect yet, but I'm getting better. Yeah. And I've started to enjoy it more now that I feel more prepared.
Yeah.
For sure. All right, let's make this. Get down. Dang.
Buckets.
Yeah, it's in.
That surprised me about Jonathan Gomez, because like from the outsider's perspective, he seems like a quiet dude.
Well, he kind of is. He's very like almost reserved and hush when he speaks, but he just kind of goes on and on.
He just doesn't stop.
And like he's a very interesting guy and super nice and has a lot of really cool things to say. But yeah, he kind of just is like quietly, you know, goes on and has a long conversation.
Yeah.
It was an interesting interview. I didn't expect him to be like that.
Oh. This could be amazing, or I could have another putt from right there.
Okay. Oh.
Almost. I literally had to like weave through these bushes.
It's one of those putts where you're like, well, I can't miss it right.
Yeah.
And then it somehow still misses right. This disc is another one this is like the discs that catch my eye. This came into our use section a while back because it's a San Marino AVR. So this one's from like 03, 04.
Yeah.
So it's one of the older molds, and before they moved the factory, and it flies beautifully.
Ooh.
They got like I know some of the San Marino stuff has like 2 circles or whatever.
Yeah,
on
the
bottom.
2 rings or whatever. I honestly, I haven't even looked closely enough at that one to like study it. I'm not like an expert on some of that stuff. Right. I can recognize, like, I'm smart enough to be like, okay, this one says San Marino on the bottom. That means it was made there. Yeah. And it must be this old, but I'm not super good at like recognizing the mold and the tooling yet. That's a little beyond me still.
Yeah.
All right.
Some of those guys can get ridiculous.
Yeah, it is. It's insane. You know what's even crazier is like you hear people talk about the discs, and everybody knows, like everybody in disc golf knows a good bit about discs, but when we went to visit Gateway, their factory, and we got to see everything behind the scenes, the guys there, they talk plastic, like not like when we say we talk plastic, we're talking about discs. They're talking about the blends and the way that it all works, and like, oh, this one melts down like this and this, and plastic talk is a whole different thing. Like nobody knows about that stuff except for those guys, and it was fascinating.
It's
like,
it's so funny because it's like, because they're so into plastic and know so much, but they're also a company that's known for
inconsistency
in their plastic.
Yeah, I mean, it has to do with the way they mix their plastic. They're like kind of just content with what they're doing at Gateway. But yeah, it is very interesting.
But it also makes sense because like if they're passionate about like finding different plastics, that's
totally what it is.
That's why there's so many different, like there's like 20 different kinds of wizards you can buy.
Yeah, they just love experimenting with it. You can tell like every run is something new for them.
Yeah.
All right, let's try this hyzer route. Oh, I got it.
Oh, baby.
I got it, I think.
Was that the rock or the sky guy?
That was the rock.
I'm a sucker for tunnels, so I always have to. I'm just like.
I respect that.
I'm just like, in my mind, I'm like, or in my heart, I'm like, I'm good at hyzer flipping tunnel shots, and then like in reality, I'm like 1 out of 10 I hit it.
I gave up
but
on
I go for it every
ago.
time. Every time, I'm just like, I can't say no to a good hyzer flip tunnel shot.
I respect that.
Nope, that's not it.
Almost.
Way too soft and low.
You can go ahead and play through.
Yeah.
Get off of that.
Oh,
sit down.
I mean,
we were throwing a few.
Yeah,
have a good round.
Have a good one.
We were throwing a few shots in this hole yesterday, like with the local guys, and they actually was from that tee where you're almost going more at the road, and they were like literally timing the cars. And there was a couple forehands that were getting so close to cars that like if they looked out their window, the disc was following them. Like it was like right next to their passenger door. It was very sketchy.
Yeah, we were throwing that, and I was just like, there was a couple walking by, and the locals still threw.
They don't care.
And I was like, dude.
My whole goal for this course has been like, just keep it away from the road. And so far I've succeeded. But this hole is one of the sketchiest where it's like, just don't catch a bad skip.
This spot is not that as bad,
that
but that one is really
and that
bad.
Hole,
especially if you don't have a good forehand.
I've been throwing a turnover backhand just right at the gut from that tee. And I got it once. But I was just like, yeah, I'm just not going near the road.
Yeah.
My forehand's not in the right place right now.
So did you like, I can't remember if I asked this before. Did you like want to get into like disc golf stuff, or did like Hunter kind of, did you know Hunter before?
Yeah, so Hunter and I played disc golf in college together.
Okay,
Connor also did. And so I knew Hunter. We were teammates for 3 years, 2 years? Yeah, 2 years. And we were like pretty good friends because we played on the same like flight. Like that's how college works. So like we were on like a flight of 4. And so like I was, we traveled together. We were like good buddies. But when Foundation first started, I had kind of thrown my name in there because I was studying sport management.
Oh, okay.
It was something that I knew I really knew in my heart I thought I was gonna be successful. So
yeah, I
kind of like, hey, by the way, if you ever like, once you start hiring employees, because at this point it was just the owners that were working, like I'd be interested. But it was never anything super serious. And then what the thing is, when I graduated, my goal was to go to grad school, but the position I wanted kind of got wiped out by COVID.
Oh,
so
yeah.
I was kind of like figuring out what I was gonna do. And the thing with disc golf with me is like, I love disc golf, but like disc golf was like a very much hobby sport to me. When I was in college, I played it pretty seriously because I was on the team. But beyond that, like I played traditional golf growing up. That's what I enjoy more. So like that is something that I would have played that over disc golf. Like I may have just put my disc golf bag down and not really touched it a lot.
Yeah.
And then I was looking for work while I was still in town before I went to go home and find work essentially.
Yeah.
And I took a shift with Foundation because they needed some help one weekend. And then that was kind of a one-time thing. And then I had actually gotten a job at like a warehouse because I still had my lease on my college apartment. So I was staying through the summer a little bit. And I got a job just to make some money at a warehouse. And I was supposed to start on a Monday. And that Friday or that weekend, I got a call from Hunter saying they needed somebody to fill in for Zach, who was leaving. And I started that Monday instead of going to that other job. Like that's how it worked. And I was psyched about it. Because while I wasn't necessarily like, I loved disc golf. It was a big part of my life, but I wasn't thinking about working in it, certainly. But when I got that phone call, I mean, I was thrilled because I knew it was going to be a really fun opportunity, and it has been. So it was very crazy. It came out of nowhere. I did not expect it at all. It wasn't like there was deliberation. I was literally offered a job one night out of the blue. One of the best phone calls I've ever gotten.
Yeah. There you go. Thank you. Yeah. So you've always been, it's like you were in sports management.
Yep.
And so you've always been kind of the like really into sports. You want to talk about sports.
Yeah.
Analyze it.
Oh yeah. I grew up, my dad played college baseball, then he was a golf pro for a little bit. Sports was always a huge part of our life. Let's go to the back tee.
Yeah.
Side tee. So yeah, like that's kind of the household. I grew up, I played pretty much every sport that exists at some point or another. And so I knew I knew that working in sports would be something I'd be passionate about. Never expected it to be disc golf. You know, I thought I worked in at the school I went to, I worked at the college athletic department for pretty much every year I was there. By the end of it, I was actually working full time in there. So I thought like college athletics is probably where I was going to end up, just because it's where I had experience. Maybe something in like marketing, but yeah, I just kind of, disc golf was like that unexpected thing, but it worked out great because I do get to practice things that I learned in school. It's very much a sport industry, and it's more exciting because it's a budding sport industry that's like just getting started. Yeah. So it's really cool, like seeing things that I've learned come into play, like through things like the Pro Tour, like they're enacting things that I learned about.
Yeah.
So yeah, it worked out. Like I ended up landing in the area my degree was in, and that doesn't happen for a lot of people, you know?
Oh yeah.
So yeah, it worked out.
That's cool. That's really cool. So what other, while we wait for that guy to clear, what other sports are you into? Like if it wasn't disc golf, like what sport would you have loved to do this, but?
Oh, definitely golf. I was pretty heavy into golf. My dad was a golf pro, and I got into it really young, probably like 6, 7 years old, and then kind of like didn't have the patience for it. I built a swing, like I was okay, but I kind of put it away and then picked it back up in high school, like all in, because I kind of like, I picked up a club in high school, decided I wanted to get into it. My whole mindset was like, you know, when I'm older one day, I want to be able to play golf. So I'm gonna get good at this. Yeah. And I decided to just like on a whim join the high school golf team, and I played there for the last 2 years of high school and had like such an amazing time. It was so much fun. And then I also worked at a golf course for 3 summers consecutively and got to play a lot of free golf that way. So golf became like a huge part of my life to where I was considering about working in golf one day. But that would definitely be, I still play golf as much as often as I can. It's a sport that I enjoy a lot. Because I played baseball all the way through high school as well. That was like another one of my big sports. I played ice hockey growing up, basketball. But golf is definitely the one that like I would have continued to pursue probably.
Yeah.
But yeah.
See, let's get away from the road.
Have you seen anybody play this road skip yet?
That Hunter said that someone tried to do it last time and then landed in a front yard.
It's happened twice. It's the dumbest line ever. I don't understand it.
Like maybe if this tee pad was like back there and this pole wasn't here, then
it's so easy to throw like out this way. I don't know why anybody goes the roadway. I think they just like having a local line, which like I get it. It's cool.
I still turned it over.
Wind's pushing.
I was hoping the wind would push it that way.
Yeah.
Which it did, but I rolled over the. Rolled it over the floor.
I haven't gotten anything to go right yet. So I've been doing exactly what you just did. Oh, there's a stiff headwind. I need to put this on a lot of hyzer. Almost. Just a little too far inside.
All right, so I took a little small thing from Hot Ones. Okay. And I looked at your Instagram.
Yes.
Nothing too like.
Nothing
I'm not like as controversial as the Hot Ones, but I saw you had like some hockey, like pond hockey.
Yeah.
Posts on there.
Oh yeah.
How into hockey were you?
Yeah. So hockey was like my first love. I was on ice. My dad like caught a hockey bug when he was like, right before he had me, and played in like a men's league and got really into it.
Oh yeah?
So I was on skates at like age 3. And I played ice hockey pretty much exclusively until I was like 11. Unfortunately, that was when the recession hit. So we couldn't, it was a very expensive sport. And we couldn't, I was traveling across the country.
Oh, that's awesome.
So I'm back here.
Oh.
So we had to give it up. You know, back then it was just kind of, it was tougher. Like as I got a little bit older, like I really missed it. But at the time it was like, okay, well now I have time to play baseball and basketball. So that's fun. But pond hockey for me was like, basically like after I was done with hockey, it was kind of a way I could still get on the ice. And where I lived in Pennsylvania, it's pretty cold up there. So if we had like a week where it stayed below freezing, which would usually happen a couple times each winter, we had a park nearby that I would just go out to by myself or with my brother, and we would just get on our skates and just like remember what it's like to be out there. And I mean, ice skating is like my favorite thing ever.
Dude,
I love it so much.
Yeah.
Yeah, David did a lot of hockey.
You played hockey?
Yeah, where we? So you're from Pennsylvania. What part of Pennsylvania?
York County.
Where
so
is
it's like South Central. It's like
is that pretty like? Is it pretty big, like hockey? I mean, everywhere up there it's pretty big in hockey.
We had a pretty big club that I played at, and like, I mean, we never had to travel too far to find other like teams to play. It's a pretty big area for it. Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie, I saw that and I was like, oh yes, because I played hockey I wasn't 3 years old.
Okay.
But it was like from 3rd grade to like my freshman year of high school, I played hockey, and it was.
It's the best sport.
I absolutely like. I still today think it's the best sport ever.
There is no better sport. I got to play. I had a really cool opportunity to play in college. There was like pickup hockey on Tuesday mornings, so like students could go to the ice rink and play, and like that was like so amazing for me.
That's the one thing I miss, because like I'm from Kansas City. So it's like if you weren't playing like a club or like officially, like there's no hockey.
Right.
You know? It's like the ponds don't ever get that cold. Like you would never think to even touch the ponds or walk on them or skate on them or anything.
It is the one thing I miss about Pennsylvania is like there's no chance that the ponds are gonna freeze down
here. It's like
here.
growing up, I like dreamed of that. It's like, that would be amazing to just like, it's just winter. I'm just gonna grab my skates and go to the pond and play some hockey.
Pond
I
hockey
thought of like a pickup hockey on a pond. I'm just like,
all the guys,
just a dream.
All the guys from like my club would go to that same park. So like if it was like a winter Saturday, you would see everybody out there. They'd bring nets out. Yeah. Oh, it was amazing. Pond hockey is, I see like there's like Instagram accounts that are like outdoor rinks, and they'll like be in like the mountains of Canada, and I'm just like, it's my dream to play on that.
That's amazing. Nope.
What position did you play?
I was a goalie.
Goalie, okay.
Yeah,
I was a defenseman.
Okay, yeah. That was gonna be another one of my questions. Where are you positioned?
I was kind of an offensive defenseman.
Yeah, it was funny because like so I started out, I was a defenseman starting out, and then like in 4th or 5th grade, it was one of those things like our goalie was sick. Yeah. And we didn't have a goalie, and I was like, I guess I can try it. Sure. You know? And they threw me in there, and then like I like had a shutout, and I loved it. Yeah. And I was like, I want to be a goalie.
I feel like that's like every goaltender's story is like they kind of get thrown into it, and they're like, this is really fun. I'm good at this. Yeah. I never got to try it, but it always looked like it'd be a good time.
Yeah. And then it's like, hockey's expensive, but then you look at like a player's equipment, it's expensive. Yeah. Then you look at goalie equipment, and you're like, oh my gosh.
Yeah, times 2.
Like, it's stupid. Like. Oh yeah, oh yeah.
Nice putt.
Oh yeah.
Oh.
I'm not gonna lie, with Hunter, I 4-putted this and I didn't even finish it. I was like, I'm picking this up, we're moving on. We need to move on.
That's the first time the elevated basket has gotten me so far. All right. The other day, I had like a probably 60-footer on this hole, and it was during the weekly we were playing, so it was like kind of close between Hunter and I. And I was like, should I run it? And like he kind of talked me into running it, like I was kind of dumb for it. But I banged it off the cage and it rolled down the stump to like 70 feet. And then I made the par. I thought I'd done it to myself, but I ended up making the par.
I've never played a park that has so many roads.
Yeah, it's very unique.
Where's this one to the right? Oh yeah, I remember this one.
Yeah, I've kind of accepted I cannot throw a forehand to this hole now, so I guess it's time to do something different. I don't really know what to throw. I think I can get there with the fairway. I'll throw the stalker. Let's try and get it up over the trees. Big turnover. I like that.
Oh, baby.
Work right. Oh,
Pan out
yeah.
and push forward.
Look at this. Go in.
Oh.
Ooh.
Oh, that was beautiful.
All right, that's the line.
That was beautiful.
I like that line.
Wow. All right. Yeah, I don't think I can push a stalker that far, but.
I'm short, so technically I didn't get it out of there.
Yeah. Gosh, dang, that was way too low.
Stay up.
That was like the line, but I needed to throw it like as high as you did. So yeah, so you said you traveled for hockey. Like where was like the top places that you traveled that you like loved?
Yeah, so we, a lot of just our normal schedule was like hours away, but probably the most fun tournament we would go play was, it was President's Day tournament in Ohio.
Oh yeah.
And that one I remember being a lot of fun, mostly because I'm pretty sure we definitely won that one. Because the funny thing was, like, I played on some really good teams.
Yeah.
We won it, like, we actually won a championship one year, got to hang up a banner, like, in the arena.
That's
it was
awesome.
really cool. I played on some very good teams, but then there was always we always hosted a Thanksgiving tournament. It was the only one that I think we hosted, and we would lose it every year for no reason. So.
Also, you're 5 feet.
I'm kind of bitter about that one. I've never got the. But the St. Patrick, or we played a St. Patrick's Day one. That was pretty fun.
Yeah.
But yeah, the Ohio President's Day one was very good.
Yeah, because with Kansas City, it's like there's no good hockey in Kansas City, so like most of the good teams like would play like in St. Louis and other places. Yeah. And then I remember we played a team from Minnesota once, and we just got spanked. I think we lost like 10-1 or something like that.
Yeah, we would play some like AAA and Quad A teams from like further north, and they were the real deal. We'd play the Junior Flyers sometimes in Philly. Yeah. They were no joke.
Yeah, it's like we were pretty good for Kansas City, but like as soon as like we got to like places that like actually played hockey, like if we played anyone from Pennsylvania,
it's
like
tough.
It's game over.
It's
like,
tough.
But like we were competitive for like Kansas City and St. Louis teams.
Yeah.
Even though St. Louis is kind of like a hockey place. But but like it doesn't hold a candle to like Minnesota or Pennsylvania up that way. Oh, get in it.
Ooh, good bid.
All right, so do you watch a lot of YouTube, or you just make content for YouTube? And
well, it's funny because when I first got into disc golf, and this is like 2013, that was like everything to me. Like that's how I learned how to play disc golf. Nobody taught me really. I just watched pros, and so I consumed pretty much every content creator there was back then.
Yeah.
But since getting into the content creation, I've definitely fallen behind. Yeah. It's just like, it's really hard to keep up, especially when now I have to be watching coverage to like, be able to talk about it. So that is kind of what fills up my like disc golf consumption, like with everything else I've got going on with my family too. Yeah. So I've definitely fallen behind with content creation. It's almost every day that somebody is like mentioning a YouTuber, I'm like, I have to check them out. I just stumbled on a new one the other night their channel's called Disc Golf Content. That's it. And they do videos like, it's a different style.
I've seen that. It's like almost like.
They do videos like how good really was Ken Climo, or like stuff like that. And it's like kind of like an informational type video, and it's very cool. So I know there's so much more out there now than there used to be. But I just haven't had time to catch up. Yeah.
So if you, other than disc golf, what would you say is like your top like 3 or 4 channels that you love watching on YouTube?
Yeah, I would say.
Or used to if you had the time.
No, I'm a sucker for golf, so I really like watching the good golf guys.
Yeah, which I think those guys are from Kansas City.
Yeah.
Aren't they?
Well, at least some of them are the original guys. They're a ton of fun. I've always watched golf content, but like nothing like that really was around for a long time.
Yeah.
So that's been something I watch. That's probably what I watch the most. I definitely I've been watching a bit more Jomez stuff recently.
Yeah.
Cause like
said not disc golf, man. No,
oh, non-disc golf.
Yeah, just kidding.
It's tough because like YouTube for me, like I used to, when I was like in college and high school, like I didn't really watch a lot of TV or movies. Like I watched YouTube, like that was my thing. I would like scroll through my subscribed channels and watch every video that came out. Like it was a big deal. But like now, man, what would be another good one that I still watch? The other thing is like nowadays, like half the stuff on my TV is whatever my wife's watching on YouTube. So like most of the channels I actually see are like mom channels and stuff like that. So it's tough. I gotta be honest, other than Good, and like I'll watch some other like random golf, Rick Shields is another golf channel that I'll click a video every once in a while. There's not really anything else I'm consuming right now.
Yeah.
It's really, it almost makes me sad to say it.
What's the secondhand channel that you've been consuming with your wife? The mom, which mom?
Oh gosh, I mean, I don't even know if I could name all of them. Shoot. It's kind of random and it changes like every other week. So I know there's one that's like Okay Baby was one of the channels. They have like 5 kids or something. I don't know. It changes so often, but it's usually along the lines of like some kind of like, this is our kids' nightly routine, or like this is what I'm doing to pack like lunch for like my kids and stuff like that.
Yeah.
It's all over the place. It's a good time though. It's relatable. I mean, I have a kid now, so it's relatable. Oh, it's not gonna be far enough. That's okay. A little bit short, need more height on that. Sometimes I think I can throw putters further than I really can. I need to throw that way higher.
Yeah, as you're throwing a putter, I'm like, I'm gonna take my T-bird out.
You're a smart man.
That was awful.
No, fight out of it.
That was so bad. No, that's not gonna come out of that.
Oh, God.
That was my flippy one. That was just a terrible throw.
That's the best
around.
when you know what a disc does and somebody's like, oh no, get out of there, and you're like, no, it's not. It's not. I promise you.
Sometimes I throw it and someone's like, it's turning over, and people on my car, like in a tournament that never played with me, they're like, hold it, oh please hold. I was like, it's gonna hold.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not worried. That's gonna hold. How old is your kid now?
He is like 6.5 months now.
6.5 months?
Yeah.
What's like, is there one thing where you're just like, man, I wish someone would have told me this?
I felt that way at the beginning just because like the big misconception is mostly like you don't realize that they don't sleep as much as you think they do, and they have to eat really frequently when they're very little.
Yeah.
So that was a bit of a shock to me, like, but I think I did a decent job of like mentally preparing myself for like my life to change a lot.
Yeah.
So I feel like now I've gotten adjusted to it really quickly now, to where it doesn't really catch me off guard. Like there's still moments of like frustration and weariness, but it doesn't catch me off guard anymore. And there's a lot of like exciting things that are starting to happen.
Expect the unexpected.
Yeah, you just kind of get used to it. Like, oh, he just like puked all over the place. Like, yeah, that's just kind of how this works. It's no big deal now. So I guess it's made me mentally stronger. Oh, get it. Oh, no. Branched me.
Oh. Get it. Oh. Ooh. Didn't hold it straight, but. All right. Woo. Oh, last question.
Yeah.
Now that we're done. One like hobby or interest of yours that like no one would really know from watching your content.
That's such a good question. Man, well, I would say, you might be able to get this, but I mean, I was like a pretty slightly above casual gamer. So like FIFA was a big part of my life for a long time.
FIFA's so
like
good.
I would say from, cause I don't really talk about this ever, but I would say from FIFA like 2014 all the way up till like a year ago probably, I was logging a couple thousand hours a year on FIFA. And not even because I was addicted to video games, because it's the only game I played.
Yeah.
I just love FIFA. Like I was not a guy who grew up playing soccer or like watching it really. and I got hooked.
Yeah, that game is just so good.
I got hooked into soccer like right around 2014 World Cup, and like now I follow it super closely. Like I love it. I'm just obsessed with it. So FIFA, I played really hard for a long time.
So
that was
like basically shred anyone in FIFA.
Yeah, I was pretty good for a while there. So that was definitely like my like big hobby there for a while.
Sweet.
I played a lot of FIFA.
Dude, well, thanks for
taking
the time.
That was fun
doing that.
Absolutely.
So,